Welcome back, everybody, to episode 9 of the Gridiron Across the U.S. podcast. Today, we will be going over our playoff bracket predictions and go game by game, seeing who we've picked. And today, we're joined by two special guests, Matt and Ben. They'll go ahead and introduce themselves.
Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Matt. I root for the New York Giants. So it was a rough season, but it's okay. We got a good pick. So that's,
Hello,
yeah.
everybody.
Go ahead, Ben.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ben. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan along with Kevin. Been a bit of a rough season for us. I'm not gonna lie.
Guys in the playoffs. You're good.
Yeah,
Not
y'all
much,
got a
not
playoff
much
game.
hype going into the playoffs here.
Nah.
All right. Anyways, we're gonna go game by game through our playoff brackets. Each tell you guys our picks, and at the end we'll throw them up for you guys. We are gonna start with the 4 versus 5 in the AFC: Texans versus Chargers. This pick, I got the Chargers. The Texans just not really a good team this year. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I agree. I got the Chargers. Texans, I don't know what happened with them. Stroud was horrible. I got the Chargers rolling that game. What do you got, Kev?
I also am gonna go with the Chargers. I think Jim Harbaugh is gonna come well prepared for his first playoff game. Texans do not look too good. And I looked at the Chargers schedule preparing for this. They don't have many bad losses. I think their only bad loss was to the Cardinals, but the rest of the teams were like the Chiefs, the Steelers, other like playoff teams. So I think the Chargers are maybe a little bit of a better team than what their record may entail, and I think they take this game over the 4 seed Texans here. Ben?
I agree with you, Kevin. I think the Chargers in this game. I completely agree. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to come into this game well prepared, really ready to take on the Texans, who have been struggling the past couple games defensively. I think maybe Stroud will try to step up with this game, but I don't think they're going to be enough to beat the Chargers.
Yeah, it seems we all have the same picks here. We're going to move on to the NFC 5 versus 4, which is the Rams hosting the Vikings. In this one, I got a little bit of an upset. Not sure if we call it an upset. Rams beat the Vikings earlier this year. We saw the real Sam Darnold come to play last game versus the Lions. I got the Rams taking this one at home. The game could be moved to Arizona, but that's still pretty much home field advantage for the Rams. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, Dom, I agree with you saying that it can still be home field advantage, but I think that the way that this Vikings team has been able to come back from, tough losses and stuff, I think that they're going to be able to go to whether it's LA, whether it's San Diego, I don't care where it is. I think they're beating this Rams team. What do you got, Kev?
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna go with the Rams in this one because I don't know how to feel about the Vikings. Looked a little bit iffy these past couple weeks. I know they played a very good team in the Lions, but I think the Rams, what they have is playoff experience. And there was a point in time this year where the Rams were 1-4. So to finish the season 9-2, excluding the week where they rested their starters, they're starting to get hot. And when you have a veteran quarterback like Matthew Stafford going up against a guy like Sam Darnold, who's never played in the playoffs before, I like my odds with Stafford and the Rams in this one. And even if it's moved to Arizona, the Rams never have home field advantage because they don't even have fans. So I think they're used to having their stadium taken over, and I'm not really worried about that. The Vikings do have a very well-traveled fan base, so I will give them that. But I do have the Rams taking the upset here. I don't really know if it's an upset. I don't know the spread or anything. But I think they will take this one over the 14-3 Vikings, who unfortunately are the 5 seed because the NFL seeding rules are dumb. Ben, what do you think?
All right. Looks like I'm the only one who took the Vikings in this game.
Matt took
I
him too.
I took the Vikings, Ben.
Oh, you did?
Come on now.
I really think the Lions game was just a fluke. They just didn't look ready to play. The offense wasn't moving. Defense wasn't stopping the Lions' offense. Obviously, the Lions are going to be a powerhouse during the playoffs this year. So I think it's just a fluke. I think the Vikings can hold off the Rams. I think Sam Darnold and Jefferson are going to lock in for this this wild card matchup here.
I just looked real quick. It's Minnesota laying 1. So it's basically a pick'em game. So it's not really a huge favorite at all.
All right. That's good to know.
All right. And now we're going to go to our this is Kevin and Ben's team here. 3 versus 6. Ravens versus Steelers. We're going to keep this one simple. Steelers on a 4-game skid going into Baltimore. I think I saw the spread like Ravens by 10. Not sure about that, but the Ravens are going to win this game. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, exactly. You put it. Steelers have just looked absolutely horrible the last 4 weeks, and it's only going to get worse. On you, Kev.
Blood sack comment. No, never mind. I'm taking the Ravens. No other way to put this. Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since I was in 3rd grade. I'm done with the Steelers. I'm done. We need change. Trade Tomlin to the Jets for Garrett Wilson in a first. They'll be down bad for him. Hire Ben Johnson. We're winning the Super Bowl. This team is driving me insane. I'm seeing there's voices in my head. There's people in the walls. I hate the Steelers. Ben, on to you.
I also took the Ravens in this game. I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than Kevin. I don't think we're going to definitely not win this game. Tomlin's definitely not going to be prepared per usual. We're going to run halfback crack toss on 3rd and 10 like we always do, or run a slant down the middle, and then we're going to get cracked in the middle of the field and just fumble the ball or something. But I think there's a little bit of a chance, maybe. I took the Ravens.
I will say, with Zay Flowers out, it's a divisional game. There's always upsets. The Steelers have a pretty good track record against the Ravens. And if you look back to the Ravens Steelers game that ended about 34-17, if first of all, that was without Pickens, so our offense was anemic. If Russell Wilson doesn't fumble that football and slides early in the game, the Steelers go up 14-7. I'm not saying anything, but Russell Wilson fumbled, and then the Ravens went down the field and scored and made it 14-7 and took all the momentum. That little turning point in the game could have made the difference. So I do think the Steelers have a decent chance, but realistically, for the sake of my bracket, I'm taking the Ravens. And if the Steelers win and it busts my bracket, I will be ecstatic. I will not care. But I still think there's a chance. I'm not totally out of it, but you know, not looking good for us. On to
Start
the
Fields, you'll
next
win that
game.
game.
Yeah,
Start
There
Fields.
we go.
If Russ didn't throw the interception late in the game, I think, yeah, it was over after that. I thought there was a chance,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
yeah, as always, we get a little bit runoff on the Steelers here every single time. He's got to go on a little ramble. Hypothetical what if situations, looking like Bengals fans out here.
Oh yeah, enjoy Cancun, buddy. Your team went 5-12.
Hell yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to 3 versus 6 in the NFC. Tampa Bay versus Washington. In this one, not sure who's favored again, but I like Washington more. Tampa Bay's a good team. I hate to admit it, but they're a pretty good team. They make the playoffs, it seems like every year, but I just like Jaden Daniels, really clutch QB, stepping up in year one. I think he's gonna take this game. What about you, Matt?
Wow, yeah, I did not originally know who to take in this game. I was really on the fence, but I'm gonna lean with the guy who's has this playoff experience, who's won these playoff games. I'm taking the Bucks with Baker Mayfield. I love Jane Daniels. I think he's played this season amazingly for a rookie, but I just don't know if he's ready yet for that spotlight. I'm not going to bank on him against Baker, who's been in this league for what 5, 6 years. I don't know, something like that. But I'm going to take the guy with the experience. On you, Kev.
Yeah, when I'm picking playoff games, I like to look at trends. And what I've noticed, since the 7 seed was added to the playoffs, and I think the 2021 season, only one out of the four or three past seasons or whatever has the 6 seed in the NFC not won. So the 6 seed actually has a very good record on the NFC side. And with that being said, I'm taking the Commanders. The Bucks, with all their starters, went toe to toe with a pretty banged up, not good Saints team last week. I know it's a divisional game, but at home with your playoff chances on the line, you can't be making it that close. They gave me a heart attack because I took them as my lock last week. And I like the Commanders here. I don't know if the Bucks are going to be able to slow down that high-powered offense, and I think it'll be a shootout. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think Jaden Daniels really has his corner or his like cornerstone rookie moment, goes into Tampa Bay and takes down Baker and the Bucks. What do you think, Ben?
I took the Bucks in this game. I just feel like the Bucks, I throw away divisional games. I don't care who's playing who. Division games can go either way. So I'm taking the Bucks in this game. I think they have a high-powered offense. I know Jaden Daniels has been looking great lately with the Commanders. He has a great season, but I just don't think he can take on Baker. That offense has been looking good.
Yeah, good takes here. We're going to move on back to the AFC side. 2 seed Bills versus 7 seed Broncos. I'm going to keep this one pretty short. It's going to be a steamroll. Broncos are they're just happy to be here, man. They're just having a grand old time out there, playing some good old fashioned football. They're going to go into Buffalo and get absolutely pummeled. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, you basically said what I was going to say. I don't know if they're going to get destroyed, but it's really not going to be close. Yeah, just give me the Bills. On you, Kev.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills. The Bills at home in the playoffs against MVP Josh Allen. I don't see how the Broncos win this. They do have a pretty decent defense that a lot of people sleep on, but unlike Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix does not have his early career playoff moment, and I think the Bills beat the Broncos by a significant margin, in my opinion. What do you think, Ben?
I can't really add much onto it. I took the Bills in this game. I think they're gonna and Josh Allen's been looking MVP caliber as he has the past couple of seasons. And I mean, just to add on to it, no 7 seed has beat a 2 seed other than the Cowboys lost to the Packers. So don't see the Broncos really beating the Bills in this game.
Yep. And speaking of the Packers as a 7 seed playing a 2 seed, not the Cowboys this time. They were a little bit of frauds. It's our year. Eagles versus Packers. I'm going to keep this one also pretty simple. It's not going to be a complete blowout, but the Packers, they haven't had too many quality wins this year. They lost to Philly earlier in the season. I got Philly winning this one. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, call me crazy. I'm taking the Packers in this game. I think with the banged up Jalen Hurts, I don't know how good he's going to play. And we saw this last year with this Packers team. They were a 7 seed. They went to Dallas, and they ran the floor with that team. Sure, this Philly team is probably better than that Cowboys team was, but I still see them putting up a good fight. I think it's going to be a really close, gritty, gutty game, and I think the Packers are going to find a way to get that done. Even with losing out on Christian Watson, they still got Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Tucker Kraft, Dontavian Wicks. I think someone will step up and beat that Eagles secondary, which has been really good all year. But they've got a lot of young guys there. I think someone's getting exposed, and someone on that Packers receiving core is going to expose them. On you, Kev.
That's an interesting take. I think this was personally the easiest pick for me. I'm taking the Eagles. Well-rested Eagles at home in the Link versus a team who, get ready for this, has 0 wins against playoff teams and went 1-5 in their division. I don't see a world where the Packers win this one. I'm gonna be honest. Um, it's gonna be an interesting TikTok when they eventually win, and I'm gonna get flamed. But this is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Eagles over the Packers. I don't think it's necessarily gonna be the biggest margin of victory, like blowout, but I think this is the most surefire pick in my opinion. So, that's my 2 cents. But see what Ben thinks.
I also took the Eagles in this game. I think it's going to be a closer game than we think. I'm still a little bit worried about Jalen Hurts' health. I don't know how well he's going to play, but I mean, Tanner McKee looked pretty good, so I'm not going to say you can't be like Jalen Hurts out there.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be getting the nod. I think he's still a little banged up. We're going to move on to the divisional rounds. Some of our matchups may be different, but the first matchup I want to on my bracket is Ravens versus Bills. This is going to be a really good game, but I just feel like the Ravens roster is a little more complete than the Bills. The Bills have the better quarterback in Josh Allen. I will acknowledge that. But the Ravens had 9 Pro Bowlers. The Bills had 2. I just like the Ravens roster a little bit more. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win this one. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, I got the same matchup, divisional Ravens-Bills, but I've got a little different of a pick. I'm taking the Bills in that one in their home turf with that Bills Mafia crowd. I just think that's going to be what powers them forward to get this win against Baltimore. Josh Allen the whole season has found ways to win games that they honestly probably shouldn't have. He's been the only reason that they probably made the playoffs. They have another quarterback. They probably win 8-7 games. I think he's going to be able to find a way to get it done in this game that really they need to win as a city and as a team. Go ahead, Kev.
I have the same matchup as well, and I also took the Bills here. When you look back at playoff history, the Bills are historically very good at home. Their only loss in recent memory I can remember is against the Bengals, but I think they're going to control the pace of the game. There's probably going to be snow. We know the Buffalo Lake effect, and I think Josh Allen's going to cement his MVP case over Lamar in this one. I have the Bills moving on to the AFC Championship. Ben?
I also took the Bills in this game. I hate the Ravens. Can't take them over the Bills, obviously. But also Josh Allen, just come on, you can't win in Buffalo in a playoff game. And maybe, like Kevin said, it might snow. But Josh Allen has everything there.
All right, and we're gonna move on to first round of the NFC divisional. Mine, as many of ours, is Commanders versus Lions. Commanders coming off a big win in the wild card. They're gonna go into Detroit and lose. Not gonna be too bad. They're gonna put up a fight, I think, but Detroit's roster is way too complete. And with Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery is going to be back for the divisional round. You put that duo back together, you're going to get good things. I got Detroit winning. Matt?
Yeah, I've got a little different of a matchup because I took, obviously, the team that no one else took. I took the Packers first round. So they will be going into Detroit, and they're just going to get stomped. They're not really going to compete against that team. No chance. On you, Kev.
I have Lions Commanders, same as Dom, and I'm taking the Lions here. Not much to say. Jaden Daniels had his moment. It comes to an end in Ford Field. The Lions take care of business pretty easily here. Ben?
I'm the only one with this matchup. I have the Lions and Vikings playing. I'm going to take the Lions as you know, it's a divisional game again, but the Lions just seem so much better than the Vikings right
Yeah, we're going to move on now to back to the AFC side. I got the Chiefs and the Chargers divisional game. Chiefs coming off a lot of rest. You know, Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Don't want to be a glazer here, Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs are going to win this one. I think the Chargers they played an easy Texans team. Not much else to say. The Chiefs are going to win, Matt.
Yeah, I agree. I got Chargers Chiefs, and I got the Chiefs winning. I mean, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's Patrick Mahomes, the playoffs. He will find a way. And look, I love that Chargers team. I had Loud McConkey. Ben knows very well. I had Loud McConkey. I love that guy. I love that team, but they're just not going to be able to get them. Go ahead, Kev.
Now here's a guy, Patrick Mahomes. He really turns it on when the weather gets a bit of chill in the air. Give me the Chiefs. Not much said. Over the Chargers, same matchup as well. Ben?
now. How do I say this? I have Chargers Chiefs. I took the Chargers in this matchup. If you, I have a good feeling. Jim Harbaugh. If you look at their divisional matchups this year, the Chargers only lost. They lost to the Chiefs 17-10. Their first matchup. First matchup. It was a close game. And their second matchup, it was 19-17. I think the Chargers can pull it out this time. Jim Harbaugh, that team. I think it could be something.
All right. You know what? You know what? Hell yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? We'll take it. And then we're going to go to the NFC side. Eagles versus Rams in Philadelphia. Rams, they got to beat a Vikings team. They're not going to beat Philly. It'll be a close game. Believe they played Philly earlier this year. Don't remember the exact score of that one. But I got the Eagles taking this one behind their high-powered rushing attack with Barkley and hopefully a fully healthy Jalen Hurts. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, I've got Vikings Bucks as my second matchup, and in this one I took the Vikings. I think they're going to keep rolling from that Rams win they get, and the Bucks team I think is just going to start to slow down. As Kevin said before, they have some flaws. I think that's going to catch up to them, and the Vikings are going to move on to the conference championship. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, definitely an interesting matchup as I have neither of those teams left, but I have the same as Dom. I have the Eagles and the Rams, and I have the Eagles taking care of business. Not much said. Saquon, MVP candidate. I think if they get out the kinks against the Packers from being injured, I think they're definitely going to take care of business against the Rams here. I think it'll be a closer game. Rams always make it close, but I do have the Eagles moving on, setting up an electric NFC championship. We'll get to that in a little bit. Ben?
All right, I have the Eagles and Bucks in this matchup. I took the Eagles in this matchup. I think Jalen Hurts should be healthy by this point. Bucks are a good team. I like them, but they're not going to beat the Eagles and Saquon Barkley.
Yep. And now we're going to go to our championship matchups. My AFC championship is the Chiefs and the Ravens. You see, last year we got all those TikTok edits, the Black Hole Sun, Lamar Jackson. He's gonna end it all. He didn't do it last year. He's gonna do it this year. The Black Hole Sun will rise from the dark and beat the Chiefs. The Ravens are gonna advance to the Super Bowl. I know the Steelers fans here are a little mad, but it's gonna happen. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, I've got Bills, Chiefs, and I mean, we've seen this story too many times with the Bills going to Arrowhead. It doesn't end well for them. It won't again. The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl, whether you all like it or not. On you, Kev.
Yeah, same thing as Matt said. I have the Bills and the Chiefs, and the Bills look they usually win an Arrowhead in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason and a guy like Patrick Mahomes, until I have further reason otherwise, I'm taking the Chiefs to advance to the Super Bowl. I'd love for me to be wrong, but like I said, until I see otherwise, I'm picking them, and I'm gonna have them back in their like fifth Super Bowl in 6 years or whatever.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm the only one here who doesn't have the Chiefs in the AFC Championship here. I got the Bills and the Chargers. I took the Bills in this matchup. I know I've been kind of glazing the Chargers here, but Josh Allen's going to beat the Chargers. Just in Buffalo, come on.
Yeah, pretty much. And then onto the NFC side, I got Lions versus Eagles. As Kevin said, electric matchup. It's going to be fireworks, a lot of offense. But a thing I like about the Lions defense is you got a guy like Alex Anzalone, plays the game the right way, just that glue guy, keeping the defense together. We saw how they played against the Vikings. he's a true leader on that defense. And with that extra presence on defense going against a really good Eagles offense, I got the Lions winning this one. On to you, Matt.
Yeah, I've got Lions, Vikings, NFC Championship. We saw this story in Week 18. It's not going to be any different. Jameer Gibbs is going to get the ball 30 times, and he's going to pound that Vikings team in the ground. They're going to destroy him, move on to the Super Bowl. I'm taking the Lions. On you, Kev.
So originally I had also have the Lions advancing to the Super Bowl over the Eagles. When I look at this game, I see the Lions getting back David Montgomery. They're gonna be able to run that Sonic and Knuckles 1-2 punch over the Eagles, and their passing game is gonna be good. And I think it's gonna be an electric game. I could really see it going either way. But I think the Lions, after choking a lead last year to the Niners, I think they finally get it done this year and they advance to the Super Bowl. And yeah, I have Chiefs Lions in my Super Bowl. On to you, Ben.
All right. Well, I have Eagles Lions in this matchup. Can't really add on to what Kevin said, but I took the Lions in this matchup. I mean, they got the 1-2 punch with Gibbs and Montgomery. I mean, it's going to be a really good game, like Kevin said. Just I don't think the Eagles can get past the Lions.
Yeah, agree with that. Now our Super Bowl picks. Mine is Ravens versus Lions. No Ravens got here. Lamar has a chance to cement his legacy. Not going to happen this year. The Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, get their first ring in franchise history. Detroit is officially back, baby. All right, Matt, what's your Super Bowl?
So I've got as well the Lions, but I've got the Chiefs in there with them. And unfortunately, the more things change, the more they stay the same in this league. We're going to see it happen again. Mahomes in a Super Bowl. He's not going to let a guy who the last time he made the Super Bowl put up 3 points beat him in a Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. I don't see it. They're three-peating. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. Go ahead, Kev.
I have Lions Chiefs Super Bowl, and I will be taking the Lions. I know I was not gonna. I know I said I wasn't gonna pick against the Chiefs until I saw something different, but the strong suit of this Chiefs team this year is that defense, and I think the Lions offense is just so good they're gonna find a way to get past that. And I don't know how the Chiefs offense is gonna keep up. I think they'll put up a fight, but I think the Lions are gonna take down the evil empire here in the Super Bowl. Um, and America rejoices, and I think Ben Johnson has been very adamant, and Aaron Glenn in their head coaching interviews, that they love Detroit and they would only leave in a perfect situation. And I think they're going to give it everything they have for Dan Campbell. They're going to put a perfect game plan together, and they're going to go out in Detroit on top and then venture on to their next head coaching job anywhere. So I have the Lions winning the Super Bowl 59 over the Chiefs. On to you, Ben.
Well, I have Bills Lions in my Super Bowl. Two teams, no Super Bowl rings. It's gonna be an electric game, but I got the Lions taking it here. Just the Lions, I like the Lions a lot this year. And I think Goff and Amon-Ra and that offense is just unbeatable.
All right. Yep. Seems we all got pretty similar Super Bowls here. That's going to wrap up our podcast for today. I'm going to throw up everyone's brackets on top of our faces. And if you want to take a closer look at them, head over to our Instagram. It will be tagged in the bio. But that's about all we got. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Gridiron Across the U.S. And we'll see you next Monday after the wild card.